The investigation centers on alleged discrepancies in school field trip funds and unauthorized school credit card purchases. What makes the interrogation significant is that investigators first establish the normal paperwork process with multiple teachers, then use those established procedures to question the bookkeeper about nearly $15,000 in disputed transactions.
No, ma'am. I just wanted to show
Okay, yeah, for sure.
So I'm with Katie Wilcox
Yes.
at Highland Bar Intermediate.
Yep.
Katie, you submit your money forms when you collect money for different things from kids for field trips, things of that nature,
Yeah.
right? And you turn it into the bookkeeper, who was Miss Lancaster.
Yes, at the time, yep.
Yep. And this is what it normally looks like, right? This is
Sure.
your yellow copies that you got receipts from, right?
Correct.
Okay. It's filled out on a white copy, it just transcribes.
Correct.
So you see your yellow copies, right?
Yep.
And you see this white copy that's listed your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So obviously this white copy does not match the yellow copy.
Correct.
And you did not complete this white copy, correct?
Nope, because it's not in my handwriting.
Okay. And obviously there's funds that are different as far as
Correct.
cash and checks.
Yeah.
Okay. And that is it, ma'am. So these,
Okay.
you didn't fill out the white copy on this one?
Nope.
The yellow copies are what you have, and this is what you completed before?
Correct.
Okay. That is all I have.
Alrighty.
Journey, when you collect monies for like field trips and everything like that, you guys normally fill it out on a white form,
Yes.
and there's a carbon copy, yellow copy that's on the back, so it
Yes.
should mirror what you write on the white form?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. I'm going to show you one of your money submissions. Now this is the yellow copy that you're handwriting.
Yes.
Okay. Now when you look over at the white copy, which should mirror this one, you see anything that's wrong with this?
That's not my handwriting.
No? Okay. So none of your handwriting on this or anything?
No, that's not even my signature.
Okay. All right. That's all the questions I had for you. Ms. Meyer, when you guys turn in your money, you can collect money from the students for field trips and everything of that nature,
Correct.
right? You fill out a white form, and it's got a yellow carbon copy
Correct.
that you keep and maintain, and the white copy normally goes with the bookkeeper once everything's signed off and verified?
I send the white copy with the yellow attached.
Correct.
Yes, and then the yellow comes back to me.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's how it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
So this is your yellow copy in your handwriting, correct?
Yes.
When you look at the white copy, do you see any discrepancies?
Well, this is not my signature, and there's missing some students on there.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That is all I need.
Okay.
If you would sit over here for me? Yes, ma'am. Like I said, I'm just shutting the door for privacy purposes, since that's what you're asking for too. And like I told you, you don't have to speak with me if you don't want to, but I want to go over a couple things that were brought to my attention. First off, it sounds like the school really loved you here, and you're moving to Idaho?
Yes.
Okay. So it's probably difficult to leave since you got so many friends and everything of that nature. But the things that I was wanting to talk to you about is regarding the field trip monies that come in and out and everything of that nature. Because there's some discrepancies from what's been going on, and it was pointed out and asked me to look into it. So, and I want to make sure I have a good understanding, so I'm going to have you walk me through it as well. And you correct me if I'm wrong on any of this. They'll get their field trip money. The teachers will fill out a white form that's on top of this carbon copy, correct? Okay. And then both the white copy and the carbon copy come to your office. It's verified with somebody else. At some point in time, it's verified, because I'm sure they come in multiples.
Yeah.
And then you send the yellow copy, which is the copy of the actual white one, back to the teachers. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, like in this form,
I know where all this is going, so just tell me what.
so, okay. Since you know where all this is going, I'm just going to ask you the why. I mean, and ma'am, I know, let me finish just really quick so that maybe it would make some sense to you on my side. I know people get in difficult times and different things. They have circumstances come up in your life.
Yes.
So,
I have always been the helper, not the helpee.
and I get that. I'm the same way. It's not like I'm too proud to ask, but I'd like to do so on all these stuff, that the white copy, like I have plenty of copies of this.
I understand, yeah.
And all this stuff. And then one of the other things that came up, which I think you know about is you turn in receipts for things. Obviously, it's the school board policy or the school's policy. It has to have an itemized receipt to justify the spending.
Yes.
When you did not turn in receipts for things that you used the credit card for, were those for personal use? Would you say more than likely that you only submitted receipts when it was justified, and the times you didn't submit receipts is when it was personal because you didn't want to see? And just like with, they brought one up, and I'm assuming it was personal because of the time frame. Papa John's Pizza charge. It was after school had been out for over a week, and then some like Walgreens charge too. As school was out, it was the middle of July.
I mean,
The only time that you'd have that credit card, obviously, to be able to use it.
Well, I'm a 12-month employee, so we would have been here.
Okay.
So.
But you'd still provide receipts for those two.
This is where the questioning becomes much more specific. Instead of asking generally whether the credit card was misused, the investigator introduces individual transactions and asks Lynch to account for them. The timing of those purchases becomes relevant because it can be compared with the school's calendar and the stated purpose of the card. But an unusual transaction by itself doesn't establish criminal intent.
I would assume as long as I have them.
Okay.
Yes.
But that would be, but I'm saying that's the standard practice.
Yes.
But if a receipt wasn't produced, it'd be, so, just so I understand, I want you to tell me, and you don't have to explain it all to me.
I just need to know what I'm facing at this point.
So I'm
Am I able to still get on a plane on the 30th?
So I'm still going through everything as far as the investigation goes, okay? Because between everything that's all said and done, it's like almost $15,000.
Okay.
Between the charges and everything. And like I said, I just wanted to get your input of what was going on, and obviously it sounds like it was just, were bad times, and you're right, but you trying to justify it to yourself.
But again, that's no excuse. I love this place. Is really what it was. So.
And that's normally what happens. I mean, you think it's just
but
like...
Again, it's no excuse, so...
No, and I understand, and I appreciate you willing to speak with me about this, just like I said, because it was, I think, a lot of no, I couldn't see this happening because you're so beloved here. And I'm sure that eats at you too because of the fact.
It does.
Now, does the move have anything to do with this?
No.
Okay. I was just...
No.
You didn't have to go into detail, I was just curious.
I just need... after my divorce, it's been 2 years since my divorce, and I felt the walls closing in. I needed a change. I needed out. I wanted to
try to break free of it and start over.
I wanted to put myself in a position where it would be a fresh start, and I wouldn't. It does not make any. It's no excuse.
Right.
So I just need to know what I need to do from now. Can I still go to Idaho?
So,
and then I would
I'm
assume
still
there'll
doing
be charges.
There'll be charges. I'm still conducting the investigation. If you leave me, let me grab my pen and paper. I'll give you a call. You're still living in the same residence, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if I didn't get a hold of you on the phone, I'll drop by with a business card or something and say contact me if you don't get my message for whatever reason.
I still have the same phone number.
I'm not sure if it's the same in our system.
Okay.
Because I didn't ask the school for it.
What happens now?
So I'm still, like I said, I'm still going through doing my investigation on this. And then once I get concluded with the investigation, the report will go to my boss. He'll sign off of proving it. Based off of whatever else I find, I'll send a warrant to a judge to see if it's probable cause for an arrest to be made.
Okay.
And then if so, then an arrest would be made.
Can I still go to Idaho or?
So I can't tell you that you can't go, but at that point in time, depending when the warrant comes out, if you already left on the 30th, that's when you said you're leaving.
Yeah.
So if the warrant comes out after the 30th, then it's going to show up if you have any chance of, like, that you plan on employing somewhere. So I'm showing it a flag, depending if they do a background check or not. So you'd have to take care of this warrant at some point in time.
Okay. What does that look like?
Ma'am, I can't go into all those things. I'm just giving a brief overview because I don't speak to the particulars because there could be so many different scenarios that go on at that point in time that I won't know. There could be A, B, and C that it could happen, or I'm not going to go down that because I don't want you to get fixated on one specific thing when there could be multiple things. Does that make sense? I'll keep you in the loop as much as I possibly can, okay? Because I'm understanding you don't want to get blindsided or have anything,
I I've got my son, I need to get him settled, and then obviously, I don't know what this entails or.
And like I said, once I have some more information, I'll completely give it, provide what I can for you, okay? But I'm not gonna be able to speak to everything because of the fact that I don't know. I truly would not know. I'm not trying to sugarcoat it or hide anything from
Do I
you.
need to get a lawyer or?
I can't advise you on legal counsel either. This is all things that you have to make that decision on whenever the time comes, when my investigation's concluded,
Okay,
and go from there,
okay.
as far as the legal stuff. But my investigation's still ongoing. If you feel like you need to retain counsel at any time, you have that right. Like I said, you don't have to speak with me.
The investigation centers on alleged discrepancies in school field trip funds and unauthorized school credit card purchases. What makes the interrogation significant is that investigators first establish the normal paperwork process with multiple teachers, then use those established procedures to question the bookkeeper about nearly $15,000 in disputed transactions.
I just wanted to get your side of the story, and that's what we did
Please
today.
let the school know that I never intended any.
Yes, ma'am. I will speak with the school afterwards. When we walk out, I'm gonna go to my vehicle. You can go to yours. I'm gonna bring your ID back to you in a second. I got it because they're issuing you a trespass warning to not come back to the school.
They don't even need to do that.
But still, they want it for themselves as well.
Yeah,
Okay. Anything else that you think I should know about?
No, just that I'm sorry.
Okay.
I don't.
I get it. When you get in a desperate time, you just result to things that you've never thought about doing before.
Is there jail time associated?
I have no idea, ma'am, because that's all something that they would look at criminal history. There's so many things that could take place that I have no answer for. I can't act off the hypotheticals and things.
Okay.
All right?
Is there like a dollar amount that it becomes like a felony or?
Yes, ma'am, there is. And like I said, once I conclude the investigation, I'll inform you of all this, okay? All right, so if you have nothing else for me, I'm good. I'm going to walk out there because, like I said, they would want the trespass done. And you could be on your way.
Okay.
All right?